The Browns need to bring another kicker in as the Cleveland Browns tie the Philadelphia Eagles 18-18, and Cade York misses not one, but two potential game-winning field goals, go-ahead kicks, whatever you want to call it, in the last 2 minutes. Both came within 50 yards, and that is the story, right? Unfortunately, it is a black cloud over what was a lot of positive things, like Dorian Thompson-Robinson getting his first preseason start, Austin Watkins securing his spot in Canton, Ohio, if we're doing preseason Hall of Famers. But then you have Cade York, who got off to a 2-for-2 start, but then followed up with two straight misses in what could have been game-winning territory. He missed the first one from 47 yards, and there was a legal formation by the Eagles, so he gets another shot from 41, 42 yards, and he overcompensates. He goes from far right to far left, and I know everyone is saying we're all diagnosing the situation. It's mental. It's mental. Maybe it's not. Maybe Cade York's just not accurate. Can we entertain that for a moment? Maybe Cade York is just not an accurate kicker, and it's not mental. Maybe it's just he ain't good. I think we got to get to that point soon. And I hope Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski come to that conclusion as well. Now, I'm filming this post-game show before Stefanski or anyone else talks to the media. Last week, Stefanski said they would not bring in another kicker. You have to envision all the moves that Andrew Berry has made this offseason to put together the best Browns roster in a long time. He is not going to let the kicker position derail this season. So, with that, let's jump into some winners and losers, starting with a couple of winners. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson is a big-time winner coming out of this game. He gets his first start for the Browns in the preseason ahead of Kellen Mond. And he wasn't maybe the most accurate quarterback, 13 of 25, but he made big-time throws down the field. 165 yards, nearly had a pick, but wasn't caught. At the end of the day, DTR, he is legitimately pushing Josh Dobbs for that QB2 job. And it's not like Josh Dobbs is some Chase Daniel backup of the world, Brian Hoyer, who is cemented as a backup forever. Dobbs is good. Dobbs was our preseason prince last year. But DTR is doing it at a whole nother level. And I really do wonder if the Browns are going to have a serious conversation of who is our backup. Like, I know it doesn't matter until you have to play him. But if we do cross that bridge and something happens to 4, who do we want taking the field? It's easy for us as fans to say DTR has been awesome in the preseason. We've hardly seen Dobbs, and the coaches know this. But I wonder if some rumblings in Berea are like, hey, maybe 17 should actually be ahead of number 15. So let me know. Who do you think the biggest winner was from week 2? Comment it down below, whether it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson, probably the next guy we're going to talk about here. Give me your biggest winner down below in the comment section. And that gets us to, he's a Hall of Famer. Build a statue. Austin Watkins. Actually, though, he's making a 53-man roster. Austin Watkins, 7 grabs, 139 yards, 1 touchdown. He has more touchdowns and yards in the preseason than David Bell had all of last year. And this is not to make a slight at David Bell, but if we count out the wide receivers as a group, if you make 6 wide receivers on your 53-man roster, Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman, those 4 are lockiest locks of all Lockland USA. There's no wiggle room there. So then that leaves 2 spots for Austin Watkins, David Bell, Jakeem Grant, and Marquise Goodwin. I'm not even including guys like Anthony Schwartz anymore. It's just not even worth our breath. So if Marquise Goodwin starts on the PUP list and that knocks him out for the first 4 weeks of the regular season, you got 3 guys, Jakeem Grant, Austin Watkins, and David Bell. I think what ultimately happens is Austin Watkins, he's not stealing some wide receiver spot. Because I do believe David Bell is going to make this roster. They're just not moving on from a 3rd rounder this quickly. If he was not a 3rd rounder, very different conversation. But he was. And that's going to give him some extra leeway. I think they just go with 7 wide receivers. I think that's the solution here. Because if the Browns think they can hide Austin Watkins on their practice squad until next year when they have some more vacancies, they're lying to themselves. Someone else is going to scoop him up after watching some preseason highlights. So Austin Watkins, big-time winner. Third winner, the guy who is partially responsible for tying the game, the UDFA linebacker Mohamoud Diabate out of Utah. He had 8 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 forced fumble, and a safety. He was a one-man wrecking crew. He comes out of Utah after transferring from Florida, where he didn't do much in Gainesville, breakout year in Salt Lake City. And Diabate was someone back in April, May, whenever the UDFAs came out, that I highlighted as, hey, he's a really good player at a position the Browns have been really recently very weak at in terms of depth and availability. So, Diabate, congratulations. You made the 53-man roster. And I'll even take it a step further. He's going to start a game this year. Because at some point, let's just face the facts here, Walker, JOK, Taki are probably going to miss time. And I can say confidently, maybe the rest of the league goes, oh, a UDFA backup? Cha-ching, we're going to beat the Browns this week. The dog pound goes, no. He might even be better than some guys like Walker or Taki. And that's a stretch. That's a preseason overreaction. But the guy's been awesome so far. Final winner against the Eagles, I'm going to go with Jim Schwartz. I know this might not be the sexy pick or a big-name player, but can we just talk about the difference this defense has? Like, the Browns under Jim Schwartz, they come off the field and they get instant feedback, whereas under the previous regime, it was a lot calmer and quieter, and it's not Jim Schwartz fiery responses and lighting you up after a good or bad play. Jim Schwartz's defense, which was comprised of all backups, made Marcus Mariota, a former Heisman winner, starting NFL quarterback, look like Kellen Mond tonight, right? 19 for 35, 205 passing yards. So shout out to Jim Schwartz. This defense, even though it has no starters out there, there's a culture being put in place, which I know preseason might be a bit of a stretch to say this, but you can see there's a different speed and tone on the Browns right now on the defensive side under Jim Schwartz. Now, the regular season is 3 weeks away. September 10th cannot get here soon enough. So if you are ready for it, subscribe, because we're going to keep you guys in the loop all year long. We've got free daily videos. So if you don't like the content, I really shouldn't be saying this. You can always unsubscribe, but don't do that. But make sure you give yourself at least the opportunity to get caught up on all things Cleveland Browns all year long. Now for my 3 losers coming out of this game, Kellen Mond. I don't even know if Kellen Mond has much of a future in the NFL. Not to really just poo-poo on the guy, but Kellen Mond, he has lost the third-string battle oh so quickly, and we don't need to dive too deep into this because we know which big-time loser we're getting to here, but he was 12 of 24, 126 yards. He threw a nice touchdown to Austin Watkins, but in terms of his stock on the roster, it's not going up. It's DTR. Quickly, let's run through our next loser, and then I've got a soapbox to get on here. John Kelly, he had that bad fumble at the goal line. The Browns running back room after Nick Chubb needs to prove to Andrew Berry, you don't have to go get another running back, right? With Jerome Ford out, you can trust that Demetric Felton and John Kelly and Hassan Hall, one of us can emerge as a legit RB3 that could fill in as an RB2. No one's really done that so far. So I think Andrew Berry might add another running back because after 2-3 preseason games, I've seen some good moments and whatnot, but not like an Austin Watkins takeover from the running back room. And now we're here. Cade York. Everyone has the fiery take they want to get off of cut Cade York, go sign a kicker, and everyone's right. The guy was 3 for 4. 3 for 5. It was ugly. It was bad. It was not good. Even his makes are not right down the middle. I always feel like they're kind of wobbling a little bit. I never have that much confidence. And as a fan, as a viewer and whatnot, just like you at home, if we are about to have a heart attack every time Cade York steps on the field, I wonder how the players feel. And that's not a lot of confidence in that team. And they have to believe in their kicker. So there are some notable free agent kickers out there. Robbie Gould is probably the best of the bunch. Mason Crosby, Ryan Suckup, Randy Bobandy, Bullock. Sign someone, Andrew. Like, it's Thursday night. I want someone in Berea Friday morning. I don't care who it is, but someone needs to give Cade York some competition. Because at the end of the day, I'm sick and tired of hearing, well, after a bad preseason game, Cade York was actually 6 for 6 in practice. Oh, good to know that next time we can just pull the practice card in the game and go, we'll actually just redeem one of our makes from practice on Wednesday. Doesn't work that way. Cade York was a national championship kicker for LSU in 2019. Won a national championship. He was a NFL regular season kicker last year. I think he has been under the most pressure right now than ever before in his football career. And it's the preseason. The preseason should not be when you are under the biggest microscope as a starter. You would think the most pressured moment in his football career would be in college, would be in the regular season last year as a rookie. Oh no, au contraire. It's in preseason. I'm done saying it's mental. He just got to get the yips out. That's lazy. He's just not accurate. And it sucks. And hopefully he goes on this wonderful rampage and proves us wrong. But I'm not going to stand here on the sidelines pretending to be a soccer mom going, go get him, Cade. Get him next time. No, he's not missing 58-yarders. It's a 41-yarder to win the game. There's 22 players on the field. Only one of those 22 would be on the field in a regular season scenario like that. And it's him. Everyone else is gone in 3 weeks when the regular season comes about. But not Cade York. So I don't care if the left tackle on the field goal unit jumps off sides or false start. Because at the end of the day, Jed Wills will be there. I don't care if it's a bad snap. Well, Hewlett would be there. Bad example. But the point is, Cade York is the only constant. And he's screwing it up. And I'm not going to let this team flush their season down the drain because field goals are a very important part. We're not asking him to make 60-yarders. Honestly, maybe they should only kick 50-yarders. Maybe they should just get false starts until it's long 55-yarders like the Panthers game, and he's better from there. Because he can't hit from 40 to 49. And you have to be automatic in the NFL in that range. Otherwise, you're out of a job. And I know he's a 4th-round pick last year, but the Bucs drafted a kicker in the 2nd round. He lasted 1 year, and he was gone. Drafting a kicker, I hate to say, might be cursed. And I was all for it because I believe kickers are such an undervalued position, and I don't get why they're not targeted more in the draft process because they win and lose games single-handedly so often. But right now, it's not working. And I'm not going to stand by and watch the season go down the shitter. So, who was your biggest Week 2 loser? We will wrap it up with this. Plus, we'll pick a card here. Cade York. There's no other answer. The guy did not miss one kick today. He missed 2. He had 2 opportunities to win the game. Because if he makes the first one, they decline the penalty. But he missed it. And he overcompensated and he went the other direction. Sam, we got big cards, by the way. Shout out to Jeremy Beedling and really big cards. And Trace Gerard for giving me these big cards. So which card do you want to go with, Sam?
We'll go with the same one we've been riding with all night long, the good old trusty, untrusty 9 of spades. And it's not going to hit.
Okay. Let's see. Kevin Stefanski talking about it right now? Yeah. All right, here we go. You said what?
9 of spades again.
I'm ready
to be heard.
All right, last pull right here. I'm going to go 5 of hearts. Queen of clubs. Queen of clubs. Subscribe, follow along, make sure you don't miss a thing, and we will see you guys tomorrow.